close. There we go. Are we good? I think. Yes. Come on. Hi, everyone. How's y'all doing? Someone said that to me today about died. Y'all doing? Hi, Diana. Okay, I think we're where we need to be. We'll give everybody another minute or two to find us, and then we will jump in. I have a super cute card for you tonight using a fun new bundle. I think you're gonna love it. So much you can do with it. Hope everyone's doing well, enjoying this beautiful weather today. Gosh, I can't believe how pretty it is. I think the cicadas are starting to calm down, maybe just a little. Fingers crossed anyway. It's hard to believe it is getting close to the middle of June. How is that possible? Time is flying. I know I say that every time, but it's crazy. Get a sip of water. Wait 1 more minute. I actually went walking at lunchtime today, which felt great. One of the other girls walks, and so we decided to walk together. It's kind of nice because it gives you an accountability partner. So each day I'm in the office, I'll work with her and walk with her, and then I can start doing it here at home. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, and this is our Facebook Live here on Donna Stamps. Just a few announcements very quickly. We are still having our sweet sale going on right now. And that is all of our sweet collections. You can buy one and get at full price, get the second one, whichever is the lesser value at half price. Now, not only can you order the sweets that way, but you can order elements of sweets. So I know it's a tad bit confusing, but for example, you might want a stamp set out of one sweet and a designer series paper out of another, and you can absolutely do that, and the same principle will apply. Whichever of those two items is the lesser value, which will be the one that you will get for half price. So I know it's been a bit confusing. Reach out to me if you have questions. I'm happy to place the order for you if you need me to, and that way we can get you the best bang for your buck. That goes through the entire month of June, and of course supplies are available while they last. I believe there's 1 or 2 things that's gone unavailable right now, but should be back before the sale ends. This past Sunday, I had my annual BOGO sale. Thank you to everyone who came out. We had a great time. Lots of things went home, which is always nice. Have no fear if you could not make it on Sunday. I am having a BOGO Take 2. And actually, I have found so much more stuff. I mentioned this the other day. I have found more boxes of things that I'm going to be including. That is going to be on Saturday, so a week from this Saturday. June the 21st. Yes, it's a Saturday. There was a little mix up at the Marine Corps League with booking dates. That's what happens when you have 3 people booking dates. And so I got bumped off of my normal 4th Sunday. So this one will be on Saturday instead. So again, that is Saturday the 21st. The BOGO portion is going to go from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then that afternoon, I will have my normal monthly stamp stack from 1 to 4. You're welcome to do both. You do need to register for Stamp a Stack, and you need to do that by Monday of next week if you are interested. It is 16 cards for each of 4 designs with envelopes for $25. And we'd love to have you come out. This one, of course, is all occasions starting July, August, September, October. Wait a minute. No. August, September, October, November. So starting in August, we will start working on Christmas cards. And I may sneak them in July too. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. But I typically try to do 4 months of Christmas cards. So what will that be? July, August, September, October. That'll be right. Because I believe that my normal Stamp a Stack for November would fall on Thanksgiving weekend, and if that's the case, we don't have Stamp a Stack. But I'll share that information with you later. In addition to the Sweet sale, we have our first virtual album retreat coming up in July. That's going to be on July 16th through 18th. It's a virtual event in a private Facebook group. Now, there's no cost for the event itself, okay? It is a free event, but you must purchase the album kit in order to get an invitation to attend that event. Now, this is an investment, but you're going to be able to complete 12 2-page spreads, so a total of 24 pages during that time frame. Now, if you can't attend live, that's okay. Everything is going to be recorded. So as long as you've purchased the kit and have that invitation, you'll be able to go and watch those videos indefinitely. They are going to save it up to YouTube. So when the 30 days comes up and those lives are up for deletion, they'll still be over on YouTube and you will be able to get to those. But this has everything cut and packaged for you already. There's lots of little techniques and things mixed in. You get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 exclusive stamp sets, which to me is crazy. And lots of other goodies. So I've shared the information here on my page. You can also find it over in the online store. And if you have any questions about it, let me know. Now, I have had, like I said, several people ask me, what if I can't attend? I am planning on hopefully having a get together for those who cannot do it live during the actual virtual event. So I will share that information closer to time. I'm still trying to work out the logistics on that, but you can always come to that, bring your kit, and we will put together your pages together then. Club Cove for this month, registration is open. You have until the 20th if you want to get the June kit, and it features the sweet jars with the matching punch. Now, you can do this as a monthly subscription, or you can do it as a one-time only. And if you're interested in doing it one-time only, just let me know and I will send you a link to that. But this is 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs with anywhere from between $23 and $25 worth of product, and it's $30. So again, it is a monthly subscription that ships to you automatically if you need me to, or you're welcome to pick it up. But you can try it if you like and you want to bounce back and forth. Yes, this month, no, next month, that's all perfectly fine. You just need to let me know by the 20th. What else? Coming up this Saturday is our card buffet. This is over off of Dixie Highway. We have 2 sessions, 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. We have anywhere from 12 to 20 different card designs. You pick and choose what cards you want to make and how many you want to make. And they're $3 each, including the envelope. So it's a fun day. You can come add some cards to your stash. And again, this is an all occasion, so we'll have a wide variety of sentiments for you to pick from. So like I said, Stamp-A-Stack is going to be on the 21st from 1 to 4. And then BOGO Take 2 is going to be the same day, but it will be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, if you cannot attend that one, I am hopeful that I can pull off putting it into a Facebook group that I will leave open, and you can purchase the same way. You'll be able to pick and choose what I have left over and purchase it that way as well. So I will share more details of that once we finish with Take 2, and I know exactly what I have left over to share. All right. Do I have everything? That's everything. Okay. So make sure you're commenting, saying hello. Let me know you're here. And I put your name into a drawing to give away the project that we did on our last live. And that was using that sweet jar set. I just love this, and our strawberry slush. So I've got everybody's name in the hat who has commented, and let's see who is going to get that. That is going to go to Gina Farmer. So Gina, I have your information, and I'll get that ready for you. And if you would please share the video and type the word shared in a comment field, your name will go into a separate drawing, and that person will receive a stack of cards from my stash. And that's going to go to Linda McFarland. All right. So got all that situated. And then, of course, when you place an order in my online store, where did they go? Here they are. And it's $35 or more before shipping and tax. BOGO is included, okay? You're going to receive an embellishment from me, and this month it is a full pack. I'm loving these, so I've been using them, but you're going to receive a full pack of the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems as a gift from me. All right, so let me put the camera down. Make sure you say hello. I see lots of you watching, but you're not commenting, so hopefully my comments are working. Make sure you say hello. I appreciate you being here. I know it's a different day. So let's put the camera down. All right. We are going to be working with one of my favorite bundles so far out of the new releases. This is called Sunrise Sailing, and it is an awesome set. Of course, there's my double fonts that we all know. Not only does this bundle have dies, which are phenomenal. You've got some waves here of water. You've got some littler boats with the sails that you can add to the top. You've got some leaves, you've got birds, and the outline of the actual stamp that you can all die cut. It also has this amazing hybrid embossing folder. So what this will do for you is you can take and add this die, let me get a hold of it, to the embossing folder on this side, Donna, and run it through, and it will cut and emboss that out, even if you've stamped on it. So it's an awesome, awesome thing. I love when they do these. We've had quite a few of them. And so I'll show you what this imprint looks like in just a second, because we are going to use it. But I am loving this for lake cards, of course, a lot of masculine cards, but I think you're really going to like seeing how it all comes together. We're going to partner this with some designer series paper. This is the 2025-2027 in colors. You get 8 of each of the 5 colors, and you get 4 of each. And I want to show you the patterns because I think the patterns are incredible. So, we've had a lot of polka dots and different things, and I love that we've got something different. So you have the leaves, and then you have these blossoms in all 5 colors. And then on the back, you have kind of a splatter as well as a stripe. So you're going to be able to mix and match these a lot of ways, but I'm really loving the new patterns that we have in all of our 6x6 color families. So again, in this one, you will get 8, 4 of each color. In the regular color families, you're going to get 4, 2 of each of the patterns, okay? So again, just loving this Secret C. So, so pretty. And then we're also going to be using the textured note dies. These are an online exclusive that is part of the sweet sale. So you can get these for half price. And I hope you can see all of these have different stitchings. And I'd loved when we have stitched elements anyway, but these have some extra intricate dies that will really add some pop. Now we're going to be using the 4th and 5th in from the largest end. So the 4th and 5th is what we're going to use tonight. Okay, so let me tell you your pieces, and then I'm going to show you this fun card. You're going to start with a piece of Secret C. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of basic white. This is going to be your inside layer. This is 4 by 5 1/4. You need a piece of crumb cake. This is also 4 by 5 1/4. And now you can see that really pretty deep impression from the embossing folder. Just so, so pretty. Has a lot of pop, and it's just as pretty debossed as well. So you can use it either way, okay? Then you're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper, and these are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and you need 2 of those. And then you need some type of element for the front, and again, I'm using the textured notes. I did the larger of the 2 in real red, and the smaller of the 2 in basic white. And that's all the pieces that you need, okay? So I'm going to go ahead first and burnish our card, but I don't want to put anything on it just yet. So I'm just going to lay it to the side. And then the same with our emboss layer. We'll lay that over to the side, and I'm going to work with these others. Now I want to bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm going to be using my scoring blade. Okay, so let me make sure I'm in camera. And what I want to do is I want to score these 2 squares on the diagonal. Okay, so what I'm going to do with mine is I've got my scoring blade. I'm going to put this into the track, okay, and I'm going to make sure my point is in the track, and I'm going to push it all the way up to the top so that it kind of holds on this little raised addention. And then I want to make sure my point is in the track here, okay? And then I'm just going to score it a couple of times so that that scores that in half. And I'm going to do that to both of these. Okay. Make sure we're lined up. Yep. Okay. We're going to do both of those just like that, okay? So we'll put our trimmer aside. And then I'm going to be using the splatter side. Hey, Linda. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and fold these in half. and I'm going to burnish it, okay, so that I end up with 2 triangles. Okay. Just like this. Okay. So you're going to lay those aside as well so we can do our stamping first, okay? So I'm going to start with my front piece, and the colors of ink I'm using are Real Red, Secret Sea, and Crumb Cake. And what I want to start with is my sentiments. There it is. Okay. And in Crumb Cake, I am going to start with congratulations. And I just want to stamp it kind of not actually in the center, but a little bit down from center. Okay. So it looks like that. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to go ahead and close it because I don't need it for the front right now. And then there's a little sentiment that says, you deserve the best. And I'm going to use Real Red. And I want to fit this down here toward the bottom. And what I want to do is try to fit the letter G from congratulations in between you and deserve. So let's see how good I do. Yep. You deserve the best. Okay. Just like that. And I'm a little crooked, but that's okay, right? Doesn't always have to be perfect. I'm going to close up my pad for a second. And then I have this little bird stamp. Looks like this. Looks like little V's. And all I want to do is, bring that over here, is I want to add a few of those right up here. Across the front, just like that, okay? Now this is going to get layered flat onto this piece, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then this is actually going to be popped up on the front of the card. But we have to make sure that when we add our dimensionals, that we add them in a certain way in order to make this card work, okay? So kind of keeping an eye on, just ballpark, where this white piece is and flipping it over. You want to put your dimensionals, which I'm just going to add them. I'm not going to take the backings off yet. But you want to put them more to like in about a ½ inch maybe. And you'll see why here in just a few minutes. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that ready. And it'll go just like that. So you want to make sure you leave space instead of putting them right up in the corner. And you'll see why here in a second. So I'm going to lay that over there. And then for this piece, we're going to do our stamping. And I want to start with my crumb cake. Oh, I need a piece of grid paper here. All right. Just because I'm going to have to go off the page just a little bit. Okay. So I've got my crumb cake, and I've got this image that kind of looks like waves or ground. And I'm going to ink that. And I'm actually going to have to stamp twice in order to get it to fit. Okay. So I want to stamp down here toward the bottom. And then I'm going to ink it up again about halfway. And I'm just going to come over here and add it over here also. just like that, so that I have stamping all the way across. Okay, so that's that. Then I think I'm done with this one. Yep. Okay. All right, then I'm going to bring in my Secret Sea, and I want to ink up my boat. I really don't need this grid paper anymore. Okay. Now, I will tell you that because this is such a big stamp, and where I'm going to put it on my card, I found it was easier to turn my piece of cardstock on its side and kind of stamp from the side, okay? And I'm just going to add this boat right about here, just like that. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so that takes care of my boat. So I've got that done. I'm going to hold that out for a second because I'm going to add some more birds. But before I do that, I want to do some stamping of a sentiment. And one of the sentiments in here is, you're destined for great things. And I'm going to put that right up here in the corner, like that. And then there is an inside for our flag, or our sail rather. And I'm also going to use the red for that. So I'm going to ink that up, bring it kind of toward me, and then it's going to fit right inside here. And it kind of, you want it to be up against that outline as much as you can. Oh, that was actually good. So it looks like that. Okay. All right, so we've got that done. So let's make sure, oh, and then I'm going to add my little birds. So I'm just going to put one over here, one up here, and let's put one down here, just like that. Okay. So that's all the stamping that we're going to do. Now, in order to put this card together, you need to make sure that you do it in a specific order, and you'll see why. So we're going to bring our base over, and we can go ahead and put this piece on the front. That's not the front. On the front is this one. Okay. And of course, this does have some deep impressions to it, so I would add plenty of adhesive to it so that you know that it's going to stick. This is also a great opportunity to use your liquid glue because it gets down in those crevices, okay? So you've got your card front like this. Then you're going to open up your card. And I am going to use liquid glue for a reason, okay? And what I'm going to do with these triangles is I want to add them over here on each side, just like this. So they're folded in half, okay? Now I can tell you that the normal thought pattern here would be to line these up flush, and that works, but you might want to put them off the edge ever so slightly, and I'll show you here just a second. Okay, so you want your open point, and I'm gonna just, and that's why I like the liquid glue, is so I can just kind of hang that fold off the edge, okay? And I got a little glue happy there. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just burnish it so that I know that that glue held. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side, maybe with a little less glue so we don't get it everywhere. Okay. But you want it to stick. And again, kind of center it best you can, and then slide it slightly off the edge. And hold it, take your bone folder, and I just like to burnish it a little bit to make sure that that glue holds, okay? So that's gonna look like this. All right. Now, you're gonna take your inside piece and you're gonna go ahead and center that across and adhere it down. And like I said, you're gonna put it right over the top. So you'll center it just like you always center. So you'll have a little bit of designer series paper showing on each side, just like that, okay? Then go ahead and close your card for a second. Fold your DSP over and burnish that edge one more time, because you want these edges to lay fairly flat. So by adding it just a tad, you can kind of see it here, just, let me get it up here, just a tad off the edge, it's going to keep this from buckling up, okay? So it's going to be just like that. All right, so now the reason that you want those dimensionals to be in a certain place is because of how it's going to interact with these flaps. So we're going to put this in the center. Okay. Just like that. And then you're going to pick up those corners, and I find it's easier to kind of do it from the side. Put your finger in there and bend it just a slit, and then slip it underneath. Just like this. You've been waiting for this card, Linda? I had no idea. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish it down again. And that way, I know that it's going to hold my card flat, but I'm not going to have a whole lot of buckling. Okay? So that's how it's going to open, is they're going to pull the flaps and then lift their card. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put it back together. And like I said, you could easily curl this a little bit with your bone folder to kind of break those fibers down. And then we're going to add some gems, and I'm just going to use the In Color dots, and I'm going to use all small ones. And I'm just going to add them here to the front, just like that. And let's see, where shall I put this one? I think I'm going to put it up here. There we go. Okay. And there's your card. So cute, right? So again, they pop each one, and then the card opens normally. And you could easily put another piece of white up here if you wanted, so that you could write your message. So that is one example. And then I actually received this as a swap recently, and I love her color combination. So let me put this one back together so you can see it. So hers is using a darker DSP with the Coastal Cabana. And this one is Misty, no, this is Night of Navy. So there's hers. So it's similar, okay? And then I also did one of my own, and this is using the Secret Sea along with Cloud Cover. And this is the Cloud Color Cover striped. And again, same thing. And this one says, Happy Retirement. So give that a try. Again, it's super easy. You use all the same pieces that you normally do. You just need that extra 2 pieces of designer series paper that is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then you score it down the center. All right. Well, I hope you like that. Give it a try. Again, that's the same supplies, but it's also a great way to use up your designer series paper if you have scraps, etc., laying around and you want to show them off. So this is a great way to be able to do that and give someone a unique card. And of course, you could do this with any stamp set. You wouldn't necessarily have to do the a raised boat like hybrid folder. You could use any designer series, or excuse me, not designer series, but any embossing folder to make your background, and of course any designer series paper that's going to match your stamp set. So hopefully I'll see some of you at Card Buffet on Saturday. You do not have to register technically. You pay that day. But it is nice if you could just let us know if you're going to be coming, so we make sure we have plenty of seats for everyone in each session. And then mark your calendar for June 21st for our next Stamp-A-Stack, and of course BOGO Take 2. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for being here and sharing some time with me, and I will see you all next Tuesday at 8:30. Thanks so much. Bye-bye, everyone.